Please welcome to the Slip and Dip podcast, making a Slip and Dip debut, fresh off that knockout over Zach Otto, Mr. Sage Northcutt. Sage, how's it feel to shine on that big stage and let everybody know that you're legit finishing people?
Oh, thanks. You know what? It feels really good. I got to fight back at 170, so that was nice. Getting to fight around my walk-around weight, my natural weight, so that was big. And it was really exciting, super fun.
How much did that have to do with that weight cut? Was that more of a mental thing, confidence thing, or all the above?
Well, you know what? To go down to 155, I always walk around so lean, just walking around. So I'm kind of under-eating, always dieting super hard, and making that weight, it just kind of affects my performance. So I'm out there. It's kind of like, I don't really know how to describe it too much. It's kind of like your mind's foggy. It's like, It's kind of like you're out there fighting by instinct, but you don't have the same reaction time, the same speed, the same power, the knockout power that I do at 170.
Yeah, and given that you don't have to focus on the diet as much, are you able to focus more on your technique and your skill leading up to the fights? Maybe focus more on your opponent, maybe watch some more game film on him, or some fight film rather?
You know what? Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is normally walking around to make weight at 155, I have to walk around about 168 to 169 pounds. So it's like your body doesn't get to recover as fast. You go train super hard, and then you don't feel the same. You feel like more fatigued, tired. You don't get to perform your best even in training. So getting to walk around my natural weight helps me out in training, the practices, and now my fights too.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And of course, the performance was incredible. One of the things I like the most is that, when Zach, he was trying to control you against the cage, get you down. But as soon as you got up, you didn't back up and gather yourself. It was like you got up and it was like, okay, it's time to punch you in the face really hard. No break in the action whatsoever. So I think that showed a lot of people that you really do have a lot of cardio. Your cardio, especially at that weight, it was really impressive,
Absolutely. You know what? My previous fights at 170, I fought both fights extremely sick. I wasn't really myself. I wasn't the actual Sage out there I know I could be. So that fight at 170 is a Sage that I know I always am in training, and that I should look like for all my fights and keep improving, being better and better. So the very beginning of the fight, unfortunately, I blinked my eyes. I got hit with a hard shot and then taken down. But after that, I don't think I got hit anymore with any strikes standing up. So like you said, right off the stand-up, I went at it.
How big a deal is it to string some wins together at welterweight and make a run at that title? The fact that you still got a whole decade to make a legit run, but are you putting a timetable I like to have my first title fight by I'm 25 or a certain age, or it happens when it happens?
Well, you know what? I'd like to be the youngest person to have the title in the UFC, if that's possible. I like to fight pretty frequently, so I guess talk with the UFC and see when my next fight's going to be. But I guess have another fight and then another fight and talking with them and seeing. But I believe at 170, I'm always looking to go out there for a finish. At 155, even though I've been blessed to be undefeated at the UFC at 155, being 5-0 for the UFC, I just don't feel like the same kind of Sage that I know I am. So at 170, it should be way more interesting, a lot more exciting. Should be able to go out there and finish my opponents like I believe I can, and go fight for the title in the future.
Would you fight if your mentor, Mr. Woodley, as you call him, has the belt? Would you fight him? I know it's one of your mentors.
Oh, Mr. Woodley? Oh, he's awesome. He's amazing. Oh, you know what? I don't think we have to think about that. He's the man, and he's at the title right now, and I think I have some time to work my way up and fight for the title in the future.
So you called out Mike Perry, wu responded on the UFC Unfiltered podcast. He said some good things about you. He said you got some skills. He said that you're athletic as hell. It would be a good little storm, but he likes those kind of fights. So, have you heard anything from the UFC about potentially getting that matchup next?
Oh no, you know what? No, I haven't. I didn't call him out. I haven't called anybody out. But he is an exciting fighter. I think that's super cool. And I think he just got a fight scheduled with Donald Cerrone, if that's right. I'm not sure. I'll have to check, but
that's right. Yeah,
that'd be fun though.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misspeak. Yeah, but everybody online was calling for that fight for you, and that kind of picked up a lot of steam. That's what it was. So sorry I misspoke there, but yeah.
Oh no, that's cool. Yeah, that would be a fun one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so what's it like now? What are you doing after you pick up a big win like that? Are you still training as hard? Are you taking a little time off? You know, what's your day-to-day life like right now?
Oh no, definitely gonna be training. I actually went back to Texas with my family for a few days, and then flew out to Las Vegas. I had some friends fighting in the contender series for the UFC, so I kind of just hung out, watched that in Las Vegas, and I'm up in LA right now, and then getting back to training soon.
Very cool, very cool.
Give us some insight to how to, like we already talked about Tyron being one of your mentors. How much of an impact has Uriah Favorite had on your career? He came on 2 weeks ago and spoke very highly of you and how you be putting in work in the gym, and you're one of the first in, last out type guys.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know what? Uriah Favor's the man. He got the right tool set. He's such a smart, knowledgeable guy. He's UFC Hall of Famer. He's incredible. So he knows what it's like to be the best in the UFC, be one of the best in the UFC ever, and be able to how to, I guess, apply it to the fighters. And he's very hands-on, so it helps out big time.
Absolutely. So I saw an article from Ariel Helwani on Thursday, I believe it came out, where he said your contract has been fulfilled with the UFC. So that last fight against Otto was your last fight in your contract. So are you involved in the negotiations at all, or are you just letting your management team take care of that, or whoever's that handling for you, or what's that process like for you right now?
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure exactly too much what's going on. Yes, that was my last fight on the contract with the UFC, so I guess we got to wait from the UFC to hear and see what's going on. But absolutely, I have my managers and people that take care of that kind of stuff looking into what's going on.
So the chance, we hear about times, when guys' contracts are up, free agency and whatnot. There's no chance you're leaving the UFC, right?
Oh, I guess I have no idea. I guess I got to see what's on the table, and the UFC is awesome. They're incredible. So I guess I'll have to find out and talk with everybody.
Yeah. Get the numbers up, man. I know they gave you a pretty healthy contract your first time in, right out the gate. That was kind of controversial for some people, but I mean, as we've been seeing lately, man, it's worth it, and we see the improvements every single time out. And I think staying at 170 is going to be the key for you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? I know it's very kind of controversial, what you said, because people were upset about, I guess, the pay and what it was. But the UFC is a business. It's about going out there and winning. You have to go out there and win. That's the main thing. But putting I guess, the butts in the seats and having the people that tune in, that's huge. And I think I'm great for that. And I have people that tune in to watch my fights, and it's great.
Yeah, and to be clear on that, I think what you were getting paid, that's what more guys should be getting paid right out of the gate. Like, everybody's saying, oh, he's overpaid. Like, no, the whole sport is underpaid across the board. So, when you were getting heat for that, you were getting flack for that, I was like, he's probably actually getting paid what he's really worth, compared to other pro sports out there. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
How much of an impact has Uriah had on you on a business sense? Because I don't get how a lot of these fighters, they don't use their common sense. Like, one thing people are not talking about is, like, UFC's got that big $1.2 billion deal with ESPN, and none of the fighters get a cent, man. I feel bad for y'all. It's like, y'all don't want to put your bodies on line and no fighters get any money. It's like, why don't people band together and do something about that?
Oh, I got you. Well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Faber, he's so helpful. So he's a super smart guy, and business aspect, he's like a genius. So he's been giving me tips, helping me out, and kind of leading me in the right direction, having doors that are opening up and waiting for things that are coming. So I guess I'm looking forward to a lot of things coming soon.
Do you consider yourself still in the prospect mode, or do you think you're a contender since you're like in that fringe? Because you've been in the UFC for almost 3 years, you're only 22. So what do you think yourself is viewed as, or what do you view yourself, I should say?
Oh, you know what? Well, definitely. I think every fighter in the UFC has to have the mentality to be one of the top contenders in the UFC and be the champion. So that's definitely on my mind. That's my goal, is to be the best. I'm going out there trying to finish my opponents and be the best. I think getting a fight at my natural weight, like you said, is going to be huge. So I'm not only going to get to fight like I just did my natural weight for the fight I just had, but I'll get to put on more muscle, more weight, and get to keep improving my technique along with that. So that's big.
How much is your family support? I know you're a big family guy. How much does that help you get through like the initial part of your stage? Like, I won't tell you were a kid, but like you're like grown man, knocking people out and handling your business in and out the ring. How much is the foundation that your family and the support they give you help you get to this stage?
Oh, thanks. Oh, it's huge. You know what? I'm always talking to my mom and dad, even though they don't live with me. even though they don't live here in California, they're back in Texas. They're such a helpful family. They always have my back, and they're there to help me out in any way they possibly can. So I'm so thankful for that. I'm very blessed. My brother and my sister, my brother Sean, my sister Colby, they're amazing too. So it's a big blessing.
Very cool, very cool. So Sage, do you have any movie roles coming up, man? Are you diving into the entertainment industry at all? Again, or what's the outlook on that?
You know what? It's actually in the works. There's a few things actually I'm waiting to hear about that will be great. I know everybody was talking about the Creed 2, which would have been super cool to play Ivan Drago's son.
Yes.
But I guess someone else got cast, which is I'm still gonna go see the movie. I think it's gonna be a great movie. But you know what? That wasn't the lead part in the movie, so looks like there might be something in the works as like a lead role or possibly something in the future.
Ever since you made that change over there to Team Alpha Male, Texas to California, how much better is the weather out there, truly, man? Because we're over here sweating, man. It's 108 degrees last week, all week. I mean, I'm kind of jealous, man. I'm not over there in California.
Oh, you know what? The weather's always nice. It's always like sunny. It's dry, which is cool. The only thing I can see about Houston weather that's better is that if you have a fight coming up and you got to make weight, well, you're definitely going to sweat a lot. So you can get that weight off really quick.
Yeah, you just step outside and you start sweating, man. 108 degrees last week, man. It was 95 at night with no sun in the air. Like, I'm just like, come on, man. This shouldn't be legal for life.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's funny.
Man. Absolutely. But yeah, so other things like with this Team Alpha Male, man. So are you gonna be cornering any guys coming up, or are you just focused on what Sage Northcutt does, or what's you see yourself ever getting into that kind of coaching role?
Oh, I could definitely see that for sure in the future. I could see there's a lot of things that I could see, like open up a gym in the future, cornering people, I guess, helping people out. I mean, that's kind of what Uriah Faber's doing right now. He's a man. He's helping people improve and be the best fighters they can be, and he's guiding them in the right direction. So, I mean, I can see myself doing something like that in the future for sure.
That's awesome.
Well, what's the big adjustment from going from Houston to Sacramento, just living wise?
Oh, it's totally different. Okay, one thing I've learned is that parking is pretty hard to come by. So, like Houston, you can park in a parking lot, park anywhere you want, but there's like a bunch of meters in Sacramento that are around that you have to park on the side of the road and the meters, and that's definitely different. Something cool is that you have mountains. So you have a bunch of mountains in Sacramento. That's nice.
Yeah, got a little bit better scenery. Versus Houston. It's just like smog and buildings. Not saying like anything bad about Houston, but that's what it is pretty much.
The one thing that we don't have here in Sacramento is alligators. like back in Houston.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, man. Of course, you got the beaches as well. I guess better beaches. Let me put it that way. Versus, the Gulf down there in Texas is. I mean, if you got some clear water down that, it was like a miracle, out there. But
yeah, right. Yes, sir.
For sure. So, today we had the USC Hamburg card. Did you watch any of those fights at all?
Oh, I did actually. I saw a friend of mine from Team Alpha Male fight. His name was Nad. He went out there and won his fight, so that was cool. But then I actually went out to church, a Hillsong church here in Los Angeles, so I didn't get a chance to see the rest of the fights. Okay.
Yeah, Nad's fight was pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. That was a hell of a fight. Back and forth, like it could have been fight of the night. Probably second fight of the night, I think, on my list. But
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So you train with them a lot?
Oh, you know what? I got a chance to train with him for several months when he was down there at Team Alpha Male, and then I think he went back to his original country, and then he goes back and forth. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. So your last fight against Otto, was that the first time you've ever been to Idaho?
No, actually, I've been to Idaho one time for actually one of my sponsors, Labrada Nutrition. So I was filming something out there at bodybuilding.com.
Okay. So we kind of have a little joke between some of my buddies that cover the sport. We were going to start a website. They're probably going to kill me for saying this to you, but we were going to start a website called Sage Northcutt Standing Next to Things.com.
Oh, that's funny.
All the selfies you post up,
I know.
all your sponsors and all that kind of stuff. We always joke around it.
I feel like I'm always standing next to stuff. It's funny. It's fun.
I'm sure your sponsors love it though, because you always got the product placement on point with the stuff.
Oh,
there,
thanks.
You know? Yeah.
Well, I'm always if I'm taking a picture of the products, I'm either eating a protein bar, I'm drinking the protein shake, or I'm doing something for one of my sponsors. I'm wearing Reebok clothes or whatever it is. So
yeah, and I think you're one of the few fighters that have still capitalized on sponsorships. You know, that's available to these guys, because you know everybody, like when Reebok came along, it kind of killed a lot of sponsorships for a lot of people, but it seems like that hadn't really affected you much. But you know,
thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
you're still racking up that sponsorship money outside of Reebok, then, yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
For sure.
Hey, that's one thing we like you, man. Not only you're a great fighter, man. It's like you get the business sense. Unlike a lot of these fighters, it's like you get it. You know, you're at a young age. Like I'm pretty sure you probably got your next decade already planned out in and outside the octagon.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying to be as smart as I can. You know what? You want to, I guess, if you're gonna invest in something, or you're gonna take what you make and try to capitalize off of it, you wanna do it smart. So you gotta make sure that you're taking the right steps and doing the right thing for sure.
I know you're a fan of the sport as well as a competitor. Do you ever like look at it like, since you're so early in your career, like you got people like Faber, already Hall of Famer, Tyron, a future Hall of Famer. Like, hey, I want to be on that level when I'm in my 30s. I want people saying Sage Northcutt, future Hall of Famer, or I'm gonna shut it down at 35 or whatever age you have in your head. Do you think like that, or just that's still way far down the line?
No, are you kidding me? Absolutely. I want to be the best. So I want to go out there and be the UFC Hall of Famer and go out there and win the title, being the youngest fighter in history, and then go out there and defend it the most ever. So I want to be the best of the best. I'm training hard as I can. That's why I took a break from doing engineering in college. I was at the #1 school in the nation, Texas A&M, for petroleum engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I withdrew from that so that way I could focus full time on the fighting and make the most of it.
Do you ever plan to go get that ring? Go back and get that ring when you finish fighting? It's one of those things like it just happens when it happens. And I'm pretty sure you plan on eventually walking that stage at A&M whenever you're done fighting, right?
Oh, you know what? You never know. That'd be, if I did, that'd be for fun. That'd be really cool.
That's cool. Hey,
Yeah,
I
I
can get
get
the ag
off-
ring for fun.
Yeah,
Right?
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah, Sage, it's been awesome talking to you, man. So what are you going to be up to this coming week, man?
Oh, sorry. Say that one more time. You said, what am I going to be up to?
Yeah, what are you going to be up to this coming week?
Oh, you know what? I'll be flying back to Texas from Los Angeles, and then getting some training in with my brother, actually, Sean, in
Oh, yeah.
Houston. And then I'll actually be at an event. I just found out I'll be going to a bodybuilding competition. I'm not competing or anything. I'm just going to support. But it'll be the Lila Brada Classic. It's actually in Houston, Texas, which will be cool.
Okay.
So I'll be there.
Yeah, man. Your brother, like, is your brother competing anytime soon? Because I remember seeing you in Austin. You know, you and your family after your fight in Austin, backstage there. I mean, he's got some size on him.
Oh, he sure does. He's getting big. He's getting huge for sure. For being 19,
Yeah.
he's gonna be huge. He actually, what was cool was he was actually in my corner in Austin, which was really fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
that was
covering
pretty cool.
fight.
But yes, sir. So I could definitely see him fighting in the future or doing something fun.
Sage, do you want to go on that Dallas card so you can come back to Texas, or just that's no big deal where you fight as long as you get back in the octagon soon?
Oh, that'd be really cool. What's the date of the Dallas card again? I forgot.
September something. My guy Matt, he's on top of that. I just know it's like the second week of I think the first week of September.
Yeah,
September 8th.
September 8th, yes, at the AAC.
The week for Canelo Triple G.
Yeah, but apparently a lot of fights are already on that card, but maybe they could slide you in.
Fighting Texas is pretty cool. So I'll have to talk with the UFC. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tell Super Sage will come back to Texas.
Yeah. Still need a main event for that card. Nico Montano and Valentina Shevchenko is going to be the co-main apparently, but they're still searching for a main event. But they slide some Sage Northcutt
cool.
on there that'll bolster that main card.
That'd be cool. Oh yeah.
For sure, man.
How does it feel the fact that you get a positive reception regardless of where you go? Like, people don't boo Sage Northcutt. How does it feel that have that universal regardless? You can fight somebody in their hometown, they won't be necessarily cheering for you, but they're not going to boo you out the arena like as if you're the enemy. How does it feel to have that connection with the fans already? Like, some people go their whole career and don't do that.
It's an awesome feeling. You know what? The fans is what makes the sport. If you didn't have the fans out there, it's like you're just going out there fighting somebody on the street and you don't have anybody supporting you. So you have Yeah, the fans backing you up, it makes it so much more fun. So, like for instance, my last fight, fighting Otto, for instance, when I got up off the ground and I started hitting him striking, I heard the fans yelling and cheering. It pumped me up big time. So I was like, I'm gonna hit my opponent and try to go for the finish. So it makes it so exciting out there.
Of course, you're all about finishing regardless of how it go. How big a deal is it for you before you end your career to get like one of those Wonder Boy highlight reel head kicks on your reel in the UFC? I know you did it in amateurs, but get one in the UFC.
Oh, you know what? You can probably see one of those coming, because I've been working on them, and I'll probably be throwing them pretty soon in the future. I'm trying to get them down exactly like I like them, and waiting for the right time. It's gonna be
awesome.
good.
That's awesome. I look forward to it, man. And thanks for coming on the show, Sage, man. We appreciate your time, and thanks for coming on the Slip and Dip podcast and letting us know what you got going on, and recapping everything with you. And it's been fun talking to you, man.
Oh yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.